There's a rich history just west of the Blue Mountains. For instance, right here at Glen Davis, shale was mined and used during the Second World War to fuel Australia. The story of Capertee Valley and surrounding valleys in this episode of Travelodge. Hello, I'm Grainger. Ahead, what's left of a town and mine that flourished half a century ago. The old diamond miner who's living today like there's no tomorrow. And what's that glow in the dark? It's the Nunes glowworm tunnel. Also, the mysteries of Stockton and Port Stephens. The two Tims show us their inner secrets. And the world of whales. We travel down memory lane with one of the operators of Australia's last whaling station in Western Australia.
Yeah.
Towering over us, the rich ochre cliffs of the western Blue Mountains. This was the scene of Australia's only attempt to extract petrol from shale, with the town of Glen Davis flourishing here after the Second World War. Well, Spencer, you remember this town very well. You were a young lad here, going to school here.
I sure was. I started school in Glen Davis, and
it was a thriving town.
Well, it grew on to be a thriving town, sure did.
And your father ran the shop here?
He managed this store. This was Buttles, SR Buttles at the time. And yes, he was here until it closed in 54.
So you saw the town thriving,
yeah.
Then the shale mine was closed, not profitable, and closed, and as a result this just turned into a ghost town?
It turned into a ghost town overnight. Once the valley closed in 54, nearly all the workers had to leave the valley to seek work elsewhere, including my father. The shop shut immediately, the same thing.
1,600 people had settled here to support this, the Capertee Valley Oil Project. Today, the skeletal remains of the mine stand silently, remembered by author Leonie Knapman, who once lived here.
The government were afraid that if our oil supplies from overseas were cut off, we would not have a petrol supply for any of our forces here in Australia. And so they had to look for a site that possibly would produce petrol, and so they opted to work here in Glen Davis. So they set up a new town. The company was called the National Oil Proprietary Limited, and they produced their first oil on the 1st of January 1940, and then petrol was produced by August. It's a very short history, but so much happened in that time. I ended up looking through reports that were released of the 1950s in the cabinet papers in Canberra, and they were saying as soon as the threat of war was over, Glen Davis was no longer needed. But in the meantime, they had convinced people to build homes here and paid a lot of money off over the years. My parents had paid nearly £900, and that was a lot of money in the 1940s for a house that everyone had to walk away from. When Glen Davis closed, there was no other work here. There was nothing.
The impressive sandstone bluffs of the Capertee Valley have yielded not only shale, diamonds have been found here. One man who's extracted diamonds by the bucket load is Capertee veteran Col Ribbo. So Col, a very special backyard you've got. Look at this.
Yes, it's a lovely view. It's good, but interesting here. Here's a spot you want to see.
Yeah.
This is remnants of river gravel have come out of the old river, was just in there.
Yeah.
Now, it's not unusual to find sapphires, gold and occasional diamond in this stuff.
So you find a lot of that, haven't you? Sapphires, diamonds,
Probably
gold.
dozens, yep.
So how would you go about that?
Very primitive form of mining. Just sit down and scratch through the gravel.
Yeah.
Just, of course, and what you're looking for is a shiny, they're very, very shiny little pebbles. They stick out like country toilets.
Yeah.
Not at all hard to see.
There we go, how's that?
Put him on the hand, there you go. That's about a third of a carat.
All right.
What's called 30 points.
What would that be worth?
Oh, $250.
Yeah, okay.
That's a nice day. $200. That's a nice day's work, mate. The one thing I got advice for you, mate, if you can try rich, try rich. It beats the hell out of poor.
Down below, Col Ribbo's collection of old vehicles sprawls all over his valley property. He's a mechanic by trade and has accumulated a formidable assortment of, well, anything that has a motor in it. His favourites are the tractors and graders that allow him to move soil and keep the Ribbo acres well groomed. Col, you like your machines?
Yeah, mate, they save time.
Mate, you've got tractors, you've got cars, you've got tanks, you've got all sorts of contraptions here.
I was putting a funny loader on, I was putting a backhoe on it, and the main purpose of this was to go prospecting in national parks.
Yeah.
So you put a tent up, then you do all your prospecting inside the national park and they can't see you.
Col's prized possession is this, a veteran from the Second World War. All right, Col, what do we got here, mate?
This old Gussie, converted World War II tank.
A tank?
Yep. Genuine working machine. Cut the sites in for putting the washing plant in, dig the dams, put the roads in, dig the pits and tow the washing plant around. They were a very fast tank in World War II with the big radio aircraft engine. They're worth about 45 miles an hour.
So how do you get hold of an old tank?
We had 4 of the mongrels there.
And you use this to help you find diamonds?
Absolutely, yep.
And gold?
Yep.
Yeah.
It does all the earthworks around treating, and with the sampling around here, you often put a 100-ton sample through of river gravels and such and see what's in it. This has been a invaluable, marvellously efficient tool. And I built this because I didn't have enough money to buy a good one.
And Col, the history, what sort of service did it see?
Didn't know much about this one. We did have one here. It was quite a famous one. It was one of the first 60 we got in Australia. In World War II's history, they were part of turning back the first people who turned back the Japanese invasion. 16 of these little fellas.
When he's done with fine-tuning the tank, Col has one final treat for himself. When he spotted this canary-coloured classic rusting in a friend's property, Col couldn't resist the challenge to buy it and restore it. Mate, what have we got here? A Studebaker.
Oh, Studebaker Silverhawk, yep.
Found it in an old garage?
Yep. Old shed.
Yeah.
Cow shed.
Okay, how's it go?
Oh, bloody lovely.
You going to show us?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Jump in, we'll jump in, we
Jump
take her
in.
up.
All right, I'm jumping in. No seatbelts.
Didn't need them in days.
And off we go on Col's own backyard rally track. No going easy on the throttle either. Col wheels the old Studebaker around as though there's no tomorrow.